In the travel industry, we send our clients all around the world to achieve their travel dreams. Today on Travel Think Tank, we're traveling the world with a guest from Johannesburg, South Africa. We're going on a luxury tour of Africa with Zephne Weston of Asante Travel to learn all about this boutique tour operator and how their trips can blow the minds of your clients. Welcome into Travel Think Tank, our weekly roundtable discussion here on Travel Agent TV. I'm your host, Pat Miller. Now, Travel Agent TV, it's our channel for insider information for travel professionals only. It's made by agents for agents, featuring the best and the brightest in the travel industry. And me. I'm just hanging around. We want you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's very simple to find. Just look up Travel Agent TV. And we are forming on Facebook as well, Travel Agents Unite. It's facebook.com/groups/travel ATV. That way you can stay a part of our ongoing conversation. Today's discussion, as always on Travel Think Tank, is 100% interactive. So we want you to join into the chat and ask your questions and share your thoughts, and we will get them into the conversation today with Zephne. But first, let's go to Hub HQ and talk to my partner, Tom Brousseau. Tom, great to see you, friend. How are things?
Hey, things are very good. Hello, everyone. I'm very excited today. My friend Zephne, who I have not seen, we've discussed it during the pre-show, since 2006. That is just crazy. What it tells you about the industry is don't ever give up on anyone, because, hey, you know what? Even if they move to Johannesburg, Africa, they're still a part of the industry and still a part of our world. So Zephne, we're so happy to have you on the show today. Really showing from your Travel Agent TV's perspective, really how diverse we are and how some interesting content, some interesting destinations that we can bring to our audience. So we're super excited to learn more about luxury travel in Africa. In addition to that, we have lots of developments in the travel industry world. It feels like every day something new is shaking out. I personally have been fast and furious travel agenting on a nonstop basis. I think it was at my desk last night till about 7:30, which is not unusual in our world. And much of us, a lot of us are working with right now is the cruise business, because the cruise lines, as we talked to Michael beforehand, are fueling up the ships, and we are preparing to sail. So my friend Michael from Royal Caribbean is with us on the call today. And just want to touch bases with him, because one of the biggest announcements is that we are going to be cruising to Alaska this summer. We thought that was not going to happen, and we are very happy to know that it is going to happen. Michael.
Yes, thank you, everyone. And yeah, it's so very exciting that Royal Caribbean just got an announcement the other day that President Biden yesterday just signed the bill that will allow larger cruise ships to sail to Alaska and having to bypass Canada. So we have two ships that are going to be sailing, one being the Serenade of the Seas starting in July, going from Seattle to Seattle, and then we will bring in our Quantum class ship, the Ovation of the Seas, in August, sailing for the later part of the Alaska season. So very exciting news. I feel that every single day we are getting closer and closer to U.S. ports opening up, and hopefully it'll just be a few more weeks before later announcements get announced. We hope. So more to come on that.
Yep, that is fantastic. So I know some people that are on this call right now have their cameras off because they're still working and working on booking and quoting and getting everything that they need to have done for a surge of cruise sales. So we're very excited, Michael. We're so happy for our colleagues in the cruise industry, as well as all the advisors out there, because, hey, you know what? The cruises haven't sailed since March of last year, and it's about time we get back to business there. So I'm super excited about that.
Absolutely, me as well.
Yep. So with that, let's shift gears. Let's jump on over to Zephne and let's talk about what's happening in Africa and what we can learn about that for our customers that are interested in Africa luxury travel excursions.
Yeah, I think we're going to travel literally as far as possible from Alaska to Africa, like literally the other side of the planet, north and south and east and west. And it's going to be an exciting conversation with Zephne Weston of Asante Travel. Now, Zephne, before we get to you today, and we're excited to talk, we really want to show off this amazing video that you have for us that shows off what the company does and why it's so special. So let's take a look at this, and then we'll start our conversation here with Zephne. What a great way to open our conversation with Zephne Weston from Asante Travel. Zephne, thank you so much for staying up late. Is that what we're doing today in Johannesburg?
We're normally staying up late here. But thank you so much, Pat, and a very warm African welcome to everybody watching the show. This is really a wonderful opportunity for me just to talk about what this incredible continent of ours have to offer to your clients.
And I think that's where we should start. If we're just talking to the average American travel advisor, or especially one of their clients, they might have a hard time putting their head around all of the travel opportunities that exist in Africa because it's so big. Can we talk about that for a second?
Yes, it's very interesting because, and I'm so glad you're asking this question. And I'm sure you as travel advisors, if you are currently offering Africa, has run into this before, where clients would come to you and say, I want to go to Africa and I want to go on a safari. What they don't realize always is Africa is not a country. We are a very, very big continent. There's literally 54 countries in Africa, and there's over 157 national parks in Africa. So I think it is very important to know what image comes to mind for your client when they think of the words African safari, because many travelers might just conjure up visions of tented camps and luxury gourmet meals under a baobab tree, or a game drive, which is safari and the golden savannas, and maybe sundowners at the end of the day. But safaris can be a lot of things. It could be self-guided, it could be walking safaris, it could be flying safaris, there could be water-based safaris, horseback riding safaris. Safaris really can be as varied as the continent of Africa itself. And therefore, it's really good to have a proper brief from you as the agent so that we can really understand what type of experience it is that your client is looking for. What's quite nice is our regular agents and operators that we work with often gives us the opportunity to speak to the travelers directly via Zoom. And this is really nice because then we can really ascertain what would work best for these clients and based on their expectations. And we can also watch their body language. You talk about something and you can just see when somebody gets excited about something, or when they go, oh yeah, no, I don't know if that's really for me. And then in the end, it's up to us to then exceed those expectations.
Well, it's a great way to set the stage for all of the opportunities that are there. And let's talk about what makes Asante special and the experiences that you offer so different. What helps you stand out inside literally a global competitive marketplace?
Yes, it's very much, and Asante travel is very much about, it's very personal to us. Every aspect of what we plan is very personal. Every single itinerary we design completely from scratch based on your client's specific requirements, their goals and their budget. We really like to do a proper and thorough analysis of the client's expectations before we even start the planning process. And also because in the States, because of the time difference, the more information we have in the beginning, the easier it is for us to put the whole proposal together, because it might be 9 o'clock in the morning on your side, but then it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon our side, and our suppliers are already, they're not working anymore. So that's always a good thing. But I think a very important aspect of what we do is to put ourselves in the client's shoes. And for me to plan the trip as if I'm planning it for myself or my family. We are very, very passionate about Africa and about travel. My team are absolutely incredible. Most of us have over 20 years of experience for planning luxury travel to Africa. Some of us have over 40 years of experience. So that's really, really amazing. But I think a lot of planning, a lot of attention goes into every itinerary. And I think the most important part of the work actually happens before the client even receives the first proposal. Where possible, we really try to suggest areas and lodges and experiences that we've experienced firsthand. And we should make sure that we stay up to date with all the changes and all the projects happening in the area. And I will never, ever, ever propose an itinerary for anybody that I would not absolutely love to do myself. I think further to that, what does make us different is our level of service. So firstly, our agents, you guys really become friends. It's more than just a working relationship. And when your clients are here, we actually create 2 WhatsApp groups. So one would be, I will be on the group, then our operational office, our operations manager, the consultant or the travel designer on our side who worked on this, plus you as the agent. So that's our one WhatsApp group. Then we also create another WhatsApp group, which would be, again, myself, operations manager, the travel designer who planned it, and the client. So what that means is that we are literally 24/7 in contact with clients. If it's a very, very high-end client, which does sometimes happen, I would personally travel with them. But that obviously we don't do that for everybody. But the main thing is, the last thing you as an agent want, again, because of time difference, is to wake up and go to your office at 9 o'clock in the morning, you get an email from your client saying everything that went wrong. And that just can't happen. So with that WhatsApp group and us being constantly in contact with them, if anything goes wrong, and it might, because this is Africa, there might be a flat tire, there might be a plane that's delayed, there might be rain, and the plane can't take off, and we need to change it for helicopters or for Botswana with river transfers and things like that. We make sure that those things get resolved before you wake up. And that is what's really important to us. It is very important that we work with suppliers that's on the same high level of standards as we are, because for us it's important that we can rely upon suppliers who really stay in constant communication with us. We need to know the whole time what's going on with the client and make sure that we stay on top of things.
That's just an outrageous level of service, and I'm sure something that American travel agents really appreciate it. If you're just joining us, we're talking with Zephne Weston of Asante Travel, and this is only the second conversation on Travel Agent TV so far where we're addressing the continent of Africa, and it's so great to learn more about it and put more resources into your arsenal as you're talking with your clients. And I want to ask you, you've worked all over the place. You've worked all over the Americas, but you keep coming back to promoting tourism of Africa. Why are you so passionate about growing tourism in Africa?
Pat, Africa is real. I love traveling and I love seeing the world, but this is home. This is really where I feel centered. It's where I can be close to nature, and it's really where I feel closest to my authentic self. I really want everyone to experience this beautiful continent in a meaningful and in an authentic way, because like I said, here you can really connect with nature, you can connect with yourself, you can connect with your loved ones, your children, in a way that you're not able to do anywhere else. This is really where, if I can put it, man and planet can become one and be grateful to each other, and protect each other and teach us the most beautiful way, beautiful lessons. Now, Asante, for those of you who have been to East Africa, is actually a Swahili word that means thank you or gratitude. And Asante is really, it's such a huge part of my journey in the travel industry, starting in the UK and then going to Mexico and then working in the United States. So it's really been an amazing journey for me, which I'm very, very grateful for. And also, I think, why now? You know, there's changes happening all the time. It's becoming harder and harder to escape from social media, from corporate pressures and the expectations of society. And on safari, you really have the opportunity to just remove yourself from all of that. You can just really find your soul. You can simply connect with yourself. And I mean, we can change the course of the future. And we need to do this now, before we get swallowed up in all of the craziness and the rat race of the modern world.
Why luxury travel? What draws you to luxury travel, especially when touring Africa? Why did you pick that niche as opposed to others?
You know, Pat, when I returned to Africa in 2006, after I've worked with the Mark, which was the Mark Travel Corporation, I really desperately missed this continent, with its unique culture, the natural beauty. There's such a variety of beautiful people. But mostly I realized that people that I met along the way in USA, Mexico, and the UK will probably never experience the Africa that I know and the Africa that I loved. And I just became determined to show them its beauty and the diversity. So I ventured into the luxury travel sector because I really thrive on trips that I would love to embark myself. I enjoy luxury travel myself. I do enjoy trips that's unique and intimate. I'm not about really massive hotels, and it also depends on where you go. But in Africa, for me, it needs to be a little bit more intimate. And I wanted to create experiences that are exceptional and truly different. I also appreciate the fact that the average luxury travels with a little bit of a different consciousness, and they understand the need to take care of the environment. Now, conservation, sustainability is absolutely the cornerstone of our business. And with this type of clients, they have the means to make a change, either by contributing to social or conservation projects, or just by creating awareness in their respective networks. So yeah, the experience that I've gained in the USA and Mexico and all the people that I've met with really gave me great insight into the lifestyle and the expectations of the high-end in travelers. So looking for authentic experiences, making a difference, and you know, people also, the luxury travel normally works really, really hard to take a vacation. They want to have an immersive experience, and they really want to switch off, and they want to connect with their families and their friends and their surroundings. So returning to South Africa, I realized that the experiences that I've had has taught me this. And just because you say that you're a luxury or bespoke tour operator or DMC does not mean that you really truly understand this sort of traveler, which was definitely a gap that I saw in the market when I came here. So it's about making sure that the finer details are taken care of. It's making sure that all the simple luxuries is an absolute given, and that truly unbelievable experiences are created, which is obviously underpinned by the best service. And also, what, you know, we are not affiliated with certain properties or certain hotels or lodges. So for us, it's not about putting a client at somewhere where we need to rack up a certain amount of room nights, or we don't own our own lodges and we're trying to push all of the clients in there because then we make more money. That's not how we work. We really work with everybody who are focused on conservation and share our values. And what we use, what is going to be the best for the client, not necessarily what is best for us or even what's best for you as the agent, but that what is going to be absolutely best for the client.
We're talking with Zephne Weston, and we've had a lot of conversations about domestic locations and Mexico, but very rarely have we gotten to talk about Africa. So we'd welcome your questions in the chat if there's something you'd like to know. I'd like to turn our attention to some examples, some ways that we can put in our head when we think of Africa. We have some ideas preformed. So when someone says, hey, I'd like to, we're not caught completely flat-footed. We'd obviously call you for help, but I want to raise our literacy a little bit. So I'm going to pull the map back up here just so we can have a point of reference, right? Because geography. But like, are there any emerging destinations or anything that's really interesting happening that we should be aware of as far as trips that our travelers could take?
Well, I think it depends on your client. And again, that's why the briefs are so important. But if your clients are a first-time traveler to Africa, they've never been on safari before, South Africa, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Kenya, Tanzania, these are amazing first-time safari options. And the reason why we suggest that is when somebody comes for the first time to Africa, all they want to see is just animals, and they like, we want to see the big five. We want to experience the big five. And for those of you who don't know, the big five is your lion, your leopard, your rhino, your elephant, and your buffalo. So, but I mean, obviously there's a lot of other experiences and animals as well, but that's all that they want to see. So that is always why it's good to have that as a first experience. But for somebody who's a little bit more adventurous and who wants to, and then also the gorillas, if you want to see the gorillas, first time experiences would be, I would suggest to go and see the mountain gorillas, which you find in either Uganda or Rwanda. And if they're a little bit more experienced, they can move more to the west and they can see the lowland gorillas. But for somebody who have been to Africa and they want to have like a really amazing cultural experience, which is becoming more and more popular, Ethiopia is definitely an emerging market. It's just an incredible, beautiful destination. And for somebody who's interested in culture and all the different tribes and having like interaction with these tribes and art and history, I mean, it's an unbelievable experience. And then you have those type of clients that's, they're looking for the real Bear Grylls, rough Africa experience. Then we would look at West Africa. So you can look at countries like Ghana and Gabon, which is really, really becoming very, very, we're getting a lot of interest there right now. But these clients need to be aware, they are not always going to have Wi-Fi, if ever. If they want to cross a river, there most likely won't be a boat or a bridge. They're going to have to walk through this river with whatever is swimming in the river. So that is for a whole different type of client, but definitely worth the experience.
That is amazing. That is swimming, whatever's swimming in the river. That's hilarious. And you're right. That's a certain kind of traveler that would be drawn to that sort of experience, but that speaks to the diversity of the different experiences that are there. So a question came in, Tom wants to know actually, okay, how do we engage with you? How do we book with you and then get your experience with, I've got someone that's interested in Africa. How do we start the conversation?
Well, it's because we are a boutique inbound tour operator. As I said, our services are very personal. So I love to be able to meet with you on Zoom and have a conversation about your company and how you operate, because we're just an extension of you. We want to make sure you look good. We want to make sure your clients have a fantastic experience and that they, when they come to Africa, by the way, Africa is not a once-off destination. There are so much to do. So we want to make sure that your clients are super happy, that they return back to you and come back to Africa, and that they also tell their friends about Africa and what an amazing experience that they've had. But for us, I mean, you can contact me on info@asante-travel.com. You can WhatsApp me, whatever, and we can arrange for a Zoom experience, a conversation, and I will have my operations manager in there as well, so that you know exactly who's going to be dealing with you on this side, but also that we have a really good understanding of how you work and what your company's policies are, and, you know, the type of clients that you work with, and to see how we can best serve you.
And that's really helpful to know how we present these destinations. And you've been working with American travelers for over 20 years and talking with them about Africa. What are some of the common questions that they would have if they were interested in this? What are the questions we should be listening for and think there might be a match here?
You know, I think when it comes to American travelers, they either are very well educated and they know very well what it is that they're looking for. They're also, you know, normally very interested in conservation efforts and that sort of thing. But then you also have the type of client that they actually have no idea. And again, they have no idea what they want because they don't really know what is possible. So that is why we like to, if you're comfortable, we like to come in and really work with you, with your client. And for us just to be an extension of you, because then we can understand exactly what it is what they're looking for. And every client is completely different. And very often as agents or operators, you might have been to Africa yourself and you've stayed at a certain lodge and you just think, okay, well, that's the best lodge, all my clients must go there. But that doesn't necessarily work for everybody. It might work perfect for one person and definitely not so well for another one. But I think in general, what American clients are looking for is they want to feel safe, they want to feel secure, they want to feel taken care of. Traditionally, they really like the fact that most of the safari lodges, everything is included, so they don't have to worry about carrying around cash or things like that. So we often will include it in all-inclusive package, especially if they're only going to safari lodges. When they do visit the cities like Cape Town, Johannesburg, or, you know, Victoria Falls, all of those, there might be only bed and breakfast or only bed, breakfast and dinner, and then there will be additional costs. But I think as long as they know what to expect, everything is fine. But they also, they've got, I think Americans have quite high expectations, which is good because that's something that we can deliver on. But they're also very understanding, you know, they love to interact with people, they love to learn about different cultures, they love to talk to the staff and other people, especially if there's other Africans that's with them on their safari vehicle or staying at the lodge. So although many of them love a level of how do you say the word in English? Spontaneity.
Spontaneity, yes, that
Thank
one.
you.
Yes.
They definitely prefer things to be very well planned and for everything to flow very smoothly while they are here. I think also something that is important to mention, and this is why all of us have a job, whether we're travel agents or tour operators or DMCs, is the fact that Africa is not a destination that you just go and book online. This is where you miss out on all of the magical experiences, because there are just stuff that you won't be able to find online. You want to make sure that everything is smooth, everything while they are here, and you know, also have the understanding that things do not always go according to plan here. So for us as a DMC, it's vital that we, like I said before, fix it before it reaches your email box or your ears the next morning.
So we're almost out of time, but I do have one question that I'm just dying to ask. We talked about the overwhelming beauty and the unique locations and how many unique things you can do. We haven't really talked about dining and the food experience and how that must be unique and pretty different and something to experience. Can you talk? Oh, yes. Yes, please. I would love that. Thank you. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely. So I think food and wine experiences is I mean, especially in South Africa, that's what we're known for. One thing that, I mean, the Cape Winelands is absolutely amazing. We've got incredible chefs. We've got amazing restaurants. When it comes to dietary requirements, people are really up to speed on how to deal with that, whether it's halal or kosher or vegetarian or Jain diet or whatever it is that they're dealing with. But for us, I actually have a background in the wine industry, and I come from a family who own wine farms and food and things like that. So we will never take your client to a wine farm that's huge, where there's like 20 tourist buses. Everybody's trying to fight their way for their free glass of wine. We like to do things very personal. So if your clients are really, and again, that's why this is good to know this ahead of time. If your clients are really interested in food and wine, we would rather take them to a small, intimate, privately run wine farm where they can meet the wine farm owner, the winemaker, blend the wine, go in the vineyard, do wine tastings and pairings, and the chef comes. I mean, we've had clients that sat in the cellar with a wine farm owner and the winemaker and a candle and wine and food until 3-4 o'clock in the morning, just talking about wine, because that's what they love. So that's really something that we love and that we specialize in.
That sounds amazing. All right, last question I have for now, and it's something that I bet a lot of the agents and advisors that are watching this, they want to know. What about destination training? You had some free training last year, and how can people learn more about that, and how can they get access to potential training that's being offered?
Okay, so yes, last year, was a rough year for all of us. When March hit, I'm not the type of person to go sit down and feel sorry for myself, and I wanted to give back to the travel industry, but financially, we can't just give money away. We had to like watch our funds, but I wanted to do something to give back. And what I can give back is knowledge, because I think I know a fair amount of what's going on in Africa. So we created a very, very in-depth 7-week destination training course. We offered it free of charge because we know people don't have money. And I initially thought, maybe I'll have like 40 or 50 agents joining this course. And that would have been good enough, because if I could make a difference and help agents to really understand how to sell Africa and how to promote Africa so that they feel comfortable when they have these questions, I was happy with that. But by December last year, we already trained 900 agents and operators from all around the world, which was it was such a blessing. And it really kept me sane and kept me positive about Africa as well. So we've had so many people asking us, please, 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 we want to be part of this training. And we actually have one training this year, which started today. But if anybody wants to join this training, you're more than welcome to. I can send you the recording for the first training, and then just join us for the next, basically for the next 6 weeks. There's amazing prizes. There are getaways, giveaways, hotels, lodges, safaris. We have the most amazing sponsors on board, which I'm so grateful. Thank you, sponsors, for coming on board. And again, it's free of charge because we want you to feel completely comfortable to sell Africa to your clients.
Well, with that kind of turnout, I hope that training last year leads to a robust 2021 for you. Zephne Weston of Asante Travel, thank you so much for your time today. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Pat.
All right, so how cool is that? We talked to South Africa today. That's just cool. Yay, internet. I'm telling you, that's the coolest thing. And hopefully you got something out of it as well, because it sounds like there are so many unique destinations for your travelers to head off to. And Zephne, of course, would be a terrific partner of yours should you decide to do it. All right, before we wrap up, we're going to kick it back over to partner Tom. So Tom, we've got some news going on with the Hub collaboration community. Catch us up, brother.
Sure. Hey, before that, I just want to say thank you so much to Zephne. It was great seeing you again, great connecting with you. You're always welcome to come back on Travel Agent TV. I think this is a great forum for you to tell your story. I mean, there's so much to talk about with Africa. I don't think we could, in a session like this, even scratch the surface. So I know it's a destination that a lot of people have on their radar screen or on their bucket list, or whatever it might be. And so I'm hoping someday that I can make my way there. I think that would be really an amazing experience. So thank you, Zephne, for joining us today. So good. So announcements. So as many of you on the call know, all the Jennifers and Michael's been here and Nolan's been here. We have now been doing this, Pat and I and all of you, for going on a year, and that is crazy. So like any business, as this is designed to be, Pat made a kind of a face there, but yes, it's designed to be a business. And as we got started, I think, as you guys know, we are very sensitive to what was happening out in the marketplace and very sensitive to what the needs were. But we wanted to be there, as Zephne said, we were not people that were just going to sit around and feel sorry for ourselves. We really launched the hub and launched Travel Agent TV for a very specific reason and a very specific initiative. So what we want to talk to you guys about today, and just give you a heads up, is that the vision that we had for the hub, the community off of Facebook, with all the different functionality, the private groups and the destination communities and all of those things, it really just hasn't evolved in the way that we had hoped. Probably the biggest concern, and Pat would echo this, is if you go on the hub, there's really just not a lot of engagement. We have over 400 members. In fact, we just got a new member today, so people keep joining us. But our sense is that, and Pat and I have had a lot of conversations about this, our sense is that, people would just rather be on Facebook, and getting them to migrate from Facebook over to a network platform, private network platform like the hub, is just not easy to do and is probably not likely to happen. And so a year later, Pat and I have made the decision that starting on June 15th, we're going to begin to sunset the hub platform. And that is, the network platform where, we started off, in a community, building a community type setting. We're going to transition off of that, and we're going to invite everybody to join us on Facebook, on the Travel Agent TV Facebook page, and on the YouTube page. And I think that is a great transition, because what we're doing today, Travel Think Tank, Travel Agent TV, can then be a greater focus, because our plan is to continue on with this. I think this is really good. Over today, we had Zephne Weston from South Africa. 2 weeks ago, we had Greg Takahara from Tourism Cares. We've had Ray Snisky, the president of Apple Leisure Group Vacations. We can really bring some very unique guests and have some very great conversations on this platform. And one of the reasons why we want to focus on that is because I think we do this piece better than anyone. No disrespect to any of the travel publishers or to all the people that are out there Zooming webinars and various other things. I just think we have the capability to do this better. And one of the things that we're going to do is on Travel Think Tank, we're going to go to an every other week format. We know you guys are busy, getting busier. So if we have it every other week, maybe we can have more agents attend. In fact, we're going to focus on kind of building 50 to 100 key agents that can be part of the Travel Think Tank audience and can engage with our guests, and we can really count on having people there, so that we can have a really great think tank conversation with people like Zephne, or people like Greg Takahara, or Ray Snisky, or John Long, whoever it might be, because that's a great opportunity twice a month to interact with a key executive in a way that is much more engaging than what you might experience on a webinar on a travel publisher program that has 700 agents in attendance. So we wanted to make you guys aware of that. I think, we still are going to continue to do what we're doing. In fact, we have a plan for Travel Agent TV to make it even bigger and better. We have a couple different distribution partner conversations underway that will help us grow the audience, grow the visibility, grow the supplier interest in travel agent TV and allow us to do some really big and better and more creative things on this platform. So we wanted to make you aware of that. I think it's all positive. You know, I would have loved for the hub to been, you know, this bustling private network with 2,000 people all in there, interacting and collaborating. But the reality of it is that's a very difficult thing to do under any circumstances. And I think what came out of this and what grew out of it and all the camaraderie and all the great conversations we had, the introduction of Pat Miller to the travel industry, right? You know, Pat, you're a travel guy now.
Okay.
You've always denied it. Like for a year, you keep saying you're not a travel guy, but guess what?
All right. Well, until I get umbrella drinks at a swim up bar as an initiation and like eat the worm or whatever I got to do to become a proper travel agent.
There's a rite of passage. Yeah.
I haven't been hazed yet.
You have to drink shots of tequila with Jennifer Waldron.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
So anyways, we want to make you guys aware of that. You know, we wanted to be upfront and kind of let you know what our plans were, but all good things and more good things to come. We have a vision for something bigger and better as we go forward.
Thanks for that, Tom. And thank you everyone for being a part of the hub journey so far. And it really, Tom said it best. I mean, we are here to create content to help you make more money and help more people find amazing destinations and amazing vacations. And we want to be content for agents by agents. So thank you for being a part of it. Thank you to Zephne for being our guest today. Thank you everybody else for tuning in. Make sure you hit subscribe on the Travel Agent TV YouTube channel and make sure you join us on Facebook because as you heard, that's where the bus is heading. It's facebook.com/groups/travel ATV. I'm Pat Miller. Thanks for joining us this week. We'll see you in 2 weeks on Travel Think Tank.